Hi, Susan Piver here. Um, let's meditate. Uh, it would be, this is like the perfect forum to practice meditation together. We can just jump on and sit together, and that's what I would like to do. So welcome. I'm just going to say a few things about meditation before we start. And if you can hear me, just please say, yeah, I can hear you, or if you type in chat. And if you say where you are too, would be great. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm looking forward to meditating together. We're going to practice a meditation style technique that is called Shamatha Vipassana. I will write that in chat. Shamatha Vipassana, which means mindfulness awareness practice. So as we know, meditation is often called the practice of mindfulness meditation. It's a thing, y'all. And it is entirely accurate to call it mindfulness meditation. However, that is only 50% of what we're doing when we practice meditation together. So I'm just going to say a couple things and then we'll just go right into the practice. If you're just joining, hello, it's great that you're here. Hi. When we practice meditation, we place our attention on an object other than our thoughts, other than that part of us that is always going blah, blah, blah. You did this right, you did that poorly, what's for lunch? I hate myself, I love myself, whatever it is that you're saying to yourself constantly, you take your attention off of that in meditation and you place it on another object. In this case, that object is the breath. So it's very one-pointed. It's very single-focused. Everything that is not breath is considered thinking in meditation, and so therefore not the object. So you return your attention to the breath, and I'll explain this in detail when we actually start the practice, which will be in a moment. So you really develop the power of concentration, the ability to place your mind on the object of your choosing, and then hold it there, an increasingly rare skill in our day and age with a billion zillion inputs. So that is what mindfulness is. It's the ability to place your attention on the object of your choosing, place your mind, and hold your mind on that object. It's fabulous. It's becoming increasingly difficult. So yay, mindfulness, thank you. Mindfulness meditation, awesome. However, as you have noticed, if you have a meditation practice or will notice, even if it's the first time you're practicing, something else happens while you're sitting there placing your attention on the breath. And that is that you somehow come into the ability to have more insight, to see more clearly. Sometimes meditation is also called the practice of clear seeing or the practice of insight. You notice things you hadn't noticed before. You feel things more deeply. In other words, as you sit with this one-pointed focus, your awareness expands. So it is more accurate to call meditation not simply mindfulness practice, but mindfulness awareness practice. Shamatha in this case refers to the mindfulness aspect. Vipassana refers to the awareness aspect. So before we practice, I just want to make sure that you are not suffering under the weight of the world's biggest misconception about meditation practice. And that is that in order to meditate, you have to stop thinking. The only thing that you have to stop thinking is that, because it is completely not required in meditation practice. So if you ever thought, well, I have ADD, and maybe you do, I'm not saying that if you have a real diagnosis, but ADD is sort of, or ADHD has sort of become slang for, I can't meditate, or I can't, I have to be in a situation where my attention is allowed to hop around. Okay. I would suggest that the world has ADHD, perhaps, in addition to, or instead of yourself. So if you tried to stop thinking, that would be like looking out through your eyeballs, which presumably you're doing right now, or hearing through your ears, and then saying, don't see anything. So if you tried that right now, if you tried to look through your eyes but not see anything, that would be equivalent to the difficulty in telling your mind to stop thinking things. because your mind exists to think things, and there's no problem with that. So in order to meditate, you do not have to stop thinking. So let's practice. We will sit for 10 minutes, and I will keep my eye on the time. Hello, everybody. Hi. We're just about to start a meditation practice, so if you're just joining, welcome. Please take your seat. You're probably already sitting down. If you're driving, don't do this. If you're sitting in a chair like me, you can sit with your feet flat on the floor. I'm sitting cross-legged in my chair because it's just more comfortable for me. So take that seat, please. And as we get started, I want to explain to you that in meditation practice, in mindfulness awareness practice, there are 3 things to actually be mindfully aware of. And we're going to build those 3 things, and those 3 things create the practice of meditation. It's very important, I would say, to begin by letting go of any expectation for your practice. Because the truth is, the real practice is just being yourself. And all these other instructions are meant as a support for that simple way of being who you are right now, which is actually what meditation is. So all the science, notwithstanding, thank you science, cortisol and stress hormones, and that's fantastic. But the real practice and the real purpose of the practice is to be who you really are. So the practice begins with the way you take your seat. And the first thing to be mindful of is your body. So the basic idea is to sit up straight. Not straight like someone just said, scolded you for bad posture, so you go like this, but straight with a sense of elegance and dignity and sort of gracefulness. Your back is straight and strong. And let the bottom half of your body be heavy and still. So if you put your hands on your waist just for a moment and imagine that everything below is your root system. And like a tree, your root system holds you in place. So there's a sense of firmly seated. You can put your hands on your legs now, if you haven't already. And up from your waist, like the trunk of a tree, your trunk blossoms up with a sense of upward lifting that is inseparable from the sense of downward rooting. So you can feel both of those in your body, right here and aspiring at the same time. Your hands rest palms down on your legs, just above your knee or somewhere that feels comfortable. If you're just joining, welcome. We're just beginning our meditation practice, so please take your seat. And let that hands really rest. They're busy all day doing things. And they don't have to make mudras or gestures or anything right now. You can just really let them rest. Let your hands be heavy on your legs, palms down. And while your back is strong, your front body is very soft and tender. So you can let your belly relax and the area around your heart and your shoulders. I feel often that I'm pulling a heavy cart forward. So in meditation practice, that cart unhooks and I can just sit back where I am, not pulling anything anymore. The chin is tucked a little bit, so the back of the neck is long. And the mouth is delightfully closed because you do not have to say anything. And it is so great to be in a situation where nothing is asked of you. You do not have to say anything. You do not have to establish any facts. You do not have to prove any points or offer any opinions. You can just be quiet. So the mouth is closed, but the lips and teeth are slightly parted. And as you allow all the muscles of speech to relax, the tongue, the muscles of the jaw, the throat, You can also relax the inclination to speak. Very useful in this day and age to just let go of that. And just fill with your own silence. It's actually, there is no one talking in there. It's quiet anyway. So you can just rest in that quiet. The breath is natural, in and out through the nose, meaning you already know how to breathe, so just keep doing that. And in this practice, interestingly, to me, the eyes remain open and the gaze is cast down to a spot that feels comfortable to you, given the distance of your screen, so maybe a foot or two. And let the eyes be very soft. They're like half closed, half lidded. And rather than having the sense of reaching out through the eyes to target a specific spot, let the eyes be soft and take in the whole visual field end to end without really choosing anything in particular to look at. And this feels like a softening of the gaze. And the crown of the head reaches up a little bit, like someone really nice was holding their palm right here and you like them and you want to feel it, so you just sort of reach up for it. So if you're just joining, welcome. We're just beginning a meditation practice by establishing the posture. So all of that is the first thing to be mindful of, your body. So we've just established mindfulness of body. The next thing to be mindful of is your breath. Mindfulness of breath doesn't mean observing your breath, which implies a kind of stepping away and looking back. It's much more personal and immediate than that. It simply means to feel your breath. Feel your body expand on the inhale and feel the dissolve on the exhale. And begin again. The next inhale will just happen, I promise. You do not have to try at all. So you can relax and come in with the next inhale and flow out with the exhale. And that is mindfulness of breath. Like I say, it's very personal. It's not about observing. It's about feeling. The third and final thing to be mindful of is your mind, which will keep making thoughts. No problem. As I said in the beginning, there's no need to stop thinking or try to clear the mind of thought or think happy thoughts. You don't have to do any manipulation whatsoever of your mental processes. It can all be included in the practice. At no point in my, admittedly cursory review of the Buddhist meditation instruction of the last 2,500 years have I ever found the instruction, tell yourself to shut up. That is not included. So you let your mind be as it is. Speedy, spacious, beautiful, cruel, dull, no problem. Most of your thoughts will come and go, like fireflies lighting up and going out. And they won't really distract you from the object of your meditation, which is your breath. You don't have to do anything about those thoughts, I promise. However, at some point, you may notice that you have become absorbed in thought, meaning you've forgotten about your breath. That is not a problem. It's actually great because you just woke up and saw where you were, and that wakefulness is everything. That is what gives you all the options in your inner world, is that wakefulness. So the instruction here is to let go of the thought, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Oof, let go and gently bring your attention back to the breath. and kindly take a fresh start, feeling the in-breath, feeling the out-breath. So those are the mindfulnesses: mindfulness of body, which creates stability; mindfulness of breath, which can rouse a sense of peace; and mindfulness of mind, which reacquaints you with your own inner spaciousness without end. So this is the practice, and we'll just sit together for a couple minutes. And if you get lost, just let go and come back to your breath. And I'll indicate when it's over, so don't worry. Remember to stay with your breath. If you get lost, just come back. I'm right here practicing with you, as are others. To bring your meditation practice to a close, stop meditating. Just let the technique go. And come back. Actually, you never went anywhere, so you don't have to come back. So this concludes our meditation practice. I am so happy to sit with you. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'm going to hang around. Please don't hesitate. Just as a recap, we talked about this meditation practice as shamatha vipassana practice, mindfulness awareness practice. That mindfulness refers to the one-pointed aspect, and awareness refers to the aspect of increased insight, that you don't have to stop thinking to meditate. Forget about that. All your thoughts can be included. That the object is to feel your breath, not necessarily to notice it, but to feel it, and to allow yourself to be exactly who you are. That's the real practice. If it can be summarized in one phrase, it is the practice of making friends with yourself. So it is my honor to sit with you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate, and I will respond. Mary, thank you so much for practicing with me. It's wonderful to do so. And Sharon, you're welcome. And Gail, how lovely to think of you practicing at 6 a.m. in the Sierra Nevadas. Absolutely beautiful. And have a great day, everybody. It is wonderful to start our week this way. So thank you. And if you have questions, come write them. I will come back and answer them. I'm very glad to hear that, Susie. Wonderful. Bye.